and I will be your host today. Welcome at our webinar series where every week we talk about e-learning trends, share iSpring tips and tricks, and cover clients' cases. And today we will be hosting a webinar slash workshop, and we will be talking about how to create visually appealing content with much less effort and in much less time with iSpring Content Library. As a speaker, I have invited my colleague, Sophia. Hi, Sophia. How are you doing today?
Hello everyone. Hello Polina. I'm doing great. And how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Very excited for our today's webinar. So Sophia is a senior technical support engineer, and she has already conducted a few workshops which our audience just loved. So I hope that you guys will enjoy today's session as well. And also, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please send them in the question box, and you should find it on the right side of the GoToWebinar panel. And right now on the screen, you should see how it looks. I would also like to mention that this session is being recorded, so you will receive the recording of the webinar sometime very soon. But I would also like to encourage you guys to stay till the very end of the session because it's a wonderful opportunity to address your questions directly to the speaker. And I also have some exciting news. In order for you guys to practice what you have learned at today's workshop, we have prepared a homework for you. So, in order to be able to do it, you need to download the resources using the link that you should see in the chat. And I hope you guys can see it. And this is the second link that I shared because the first one apparently didn't work, so I had to share it the second time. And in order to allow you a couple of moments to download the resource folder, let me please turn on the video that we created with one of our clients, Chris Perfido from Pharma Digital. He is talking about his experience of using Content Library. The video is about 3 minutes, so I assume this will be more than enough for you to download all the needed resources. Okay. All right.
The content library has been a huge help for us. The main thing that I like to use it for is the different backgrounds for e-learning courses. We usually search Shutterstock or use the eLearning Brothers library, but it's really hard to find backgrounds that are made specifically for e-learning courses and have a suitable foreground for us to put a character and area for us to put questions. We can find a million pictures of a doctor's office on the internet, but it seems like we can only find one or two that actually work with the e-learning that we're using. So there's a lot of great medical images as well as tons of offices and just generic looking places that are perfect for e-learning and putting different characters in. In addition to the backgrounds, we really like using the different characters. There's each character, I think with the eLearning Brothers, they have maybe a dozen characters, and each character has maybe like 50 different poses. The iSpring Content Library, there's, I want to say like 40, 50 characters, and each one I think has over 400 different poses. So much more in depth, and it's great just because we don't have to worry about licensing or anything. We just pay the monthly fee and we can get access to the whole content library. Great because there's much more variety between the characters. There's way more different poses and expressions. With eLearning Brothers, there's usually around maybe 100 expressions or poses tops. iSpring Content Library has 400 plus for each character. And it's great to just use different characters. I think our learners and our clients and even us, we're really tired of looking at the same people over and over and over. So it's nice to have a fresh new library of characters, and it's updated on a bi-monthly basis, so it's well worth the yearly fee to kind of buy into the whole content library. There's also a great selection of all sorts of different props. If we want to show something on an iPad or on any sort of mobile device or any sort of electronic device, you guys have a huge library of different props as well as different user interface icons, arrows, all sorts of different stuff that we can use. Pretty much everything we'll ever need to create e-learning modules is right within that content library. So it's really great to not have to keep searching through Shutterstock or Google Images and hope that we can get the copyright rights for it and look for any royalty-free images. It's just nice to have everything in one place and be able to use it and have it made specifically for e-learning so we know that it's going to fit our purposes.
Okay, so this was the video. And let me please now um, grant the presenter rights to Sophia. Okay,
I know.
Sophia. Mm-hmm.
1 second. So do you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, great. Then, hello everyone once again, guys, and thank you so much for joining us today. So, first of all, could you please let me know if you can hear and see me okay? Please leave your comments in the chat box. And if something goes wrong during the presentation, please let me know in the question box, of course. All right, thank you very much. So I'm excited to share my knowledge with you, and I'm open to any feedback after the webinar. At the webinar, I will talk about what the content library is and in which cases it will be helpful. I will share with you some essential tips about the content library so you can get going right away. And create a course from scratch using the iSpring content library. As an example, we have built a full course called Corporate Environmental Responsibility, based on the iSpring content library objects and templates. By the end of this webinar, you should be able to create content like this with the iSpring content library. Today we will recreate the same course step by step using templates, characters, and other objects from our example. And to repeat after me, you should download the resource folder. To do this, please use the link from the chat. You will also need these resources to complete your home project, which I will tell you about later. So I think we are ready to begin now. So what is the content library? The content library is a huge collection of different templates for building courses with characters, slide templates, backgrounds, objects, and icons. You can easily choose a virtual instructor for your course, create dialect simulations using ready-made templates, and practice communication skills. The content library is integrated with the iSpring Suite authoring toolkit, so when you start using the iSpring Suite program, you will see what content is already included there. If you'd like to take advantage of the full content library and all assets, you just need to get a full service license for iSpring Suite. Here is a content library, guys, and if you have any questions about full service, please let us know in the chat. Also, please keep in mind that you cannot use the iSpring content library separately from the iSpring Suite program. Plus, you can easily use some objects, for example, characters and templates, in iSpring Suite components, such as QuizMaker for your quizzes, iSpring Visuals for your interactions, and also iSpring Talk Master for your dialect simulations. So let me start by showing the presentation we have prepared for you. As you can see, the entire course is based on templates and chapters, and also includes characters, icons, and some objects. Before creating this course, we selected a topic for our presentation and wrote a full scenario for all slides. In this case, it is corporate environmental responsibility. And only after that, we proceeded to creating the course. All of these templates, characters, and other elements that you see on the screen, you will be able to find in our iSpring content library. Now let's create our course from scratch, and first we need to log into our account to get access to the subscription. You can find your login and password data in the email that you received after purchasing the iSpring content library. So let me close this presentation and open a new one by using the Start menu. So please click on the Start menu here, find the iSpring Suite 9 folder, and select iSpring Suite 9 program. I will create a new course, and then I will go to the iSpring Suite 9 toolbar and select characters. So let me quickly sign out. And here you can see some characters that go with the standard iSpring Suite license. So let me select the purple button on the top right corner. And in the opened window, choose Sign in to the content library. After these steps, you should enter your login and password. And click on the Sign in button. One moment, please. Here it is. Is everyone with me, guys? Please let me know in the chat. Maybe you have some questions. Okay, great. Then I will continue my webinar. So please also keep in mind that both the content library account and the website account have the same login information. Okay, we're logged into our account and now we are ready to start creating our course from scratch. First, we need to add an introductory slide to our presentation. To do this, please click on the Slide Templates button here. Mark the category called Opening on the left pane and select the slide called Course Title in the Anthracite section. Here, Course Title, and just double click on it. Let me note that we don't need to create new slides in the presentation by using the New Slide option in the Helm tab. All our templates will be inserted automatically as separate slides. So let's quickly delete our blank slide here and the default picture from the second slide. I will add ours that you can find in the resource folder. To do so, please go to the Insert tab, click on the button called Pictures. Let me find our resource folder, and in the resources, you will find our picture for the first slide, and just add it to our presentation. Then I should send it to the back by right-clicking on it and selecting the option called Send to Back. I will also place the transparent layer here. And let me also copy and paste the text from the ready-made script for our presentation, which you can easily find in the resource folder. And let me quickly show you this file. Since I have two monitors, I will drag this Word file to the other screen so that you can see what I'm doing in the presentation. So I will copy and paste all the text from this slide. Let me transfer it. Now I will copy and paste. So for the cost category, I will copy interactive course. The title is corporate environmental responsibility. The body text is a brief description of the course, and the completion time 25 minutes. So, what should I mention about templates? Let me go back to the slide templates. So, a big plus of ready-made templates is that you can easily create professional courses in a few clicks instead of creating everything from scratch in PowerPoint. Each template includes basic course elements, for example, a title slide, a table of contents or the main menu, then some chapters, a timeline, for example, this one, and some info slides, for example, a slide with 3 columns. Since all templates are PowerPoint based, you can easily select another font and color scheme for your course. To do this, just right-click on this shape, for example, and choose another color of font, for example, blue. Okay guys, congratulations! We have created the first slide of our course. Is the pace okay or should I slow down maybe? Please leave your comments in the chat.
Sophia, there is also one question from Alice. Are you using 16:10 or 16:9 ratio for your slides?
I believe 16:9. Let me quickly check this. Um, in the presentation, I use the option called Feed Course Browser window. However, for example, in iSpring QuizMaker, you can easily use this ratio for your slides.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And there is also one that we will cover from Leonard, and then you will keep going. How did you develop the script which makes up your content? And if you don't mind, I will answer this one. So
Sure.
this actual presentation was created by my other colleague, Sveta. She was working on this specific topic, and she was collecting all different sorts of materials from all over the internet, and then she was working on one solid document. So she chose only important information and then formalized like a Word document for it. And after she had all information at her fingertips, she was ready to actually start creating the course with the usage of content library. And I hope that answers the question. Okay, thank you very much, Sophia. Please keep going.
Thank you. So let's go to the next slide of our presentation, and it will be the main menu of the course. I will return back to the slide templates once again. I will also select the category called Navigation on the left pane here, and will double click on this main menu slide in the memorial section. You will find section here, the name of the section. So on this slide, we need to add our character in a different pose. So how can we do this? Let's delete our character first and jump to the iSpring Suite 9 ribbon and click on the Characters button. So what can we see here? In the characters collection, there are 30,000 photos of characters of different ages, ethnic groups, and professions, and over 400 photos of each character. An incredible range of emotions, face expressions, standing poses, sitting poses, photos in motion, all of which you can use to create various learning scenarios and e-learning courses. You can also narrow down the selection criteria by using the text on the left part of the window here. Now I will show you how to insert a character that we need on the slide. First of all, I will select the character Alex. I will delete these tags and write his name in the search field. Alex. Here it is, and mark, and I will select this character and mark the pointing action on the left pane. Here. And I will insert this picture on the slide by double-clicking on it. I should also mention that you can easily download characters by inserting them on your slide and use them as you want. However, please keep in mind that there is a daily limit of 100 downloads. Plus, according to our company policy, these pictures cannot be resold. After inserting the character on the slide, you can play around with its size to make it look like the picture is on the top of the bottom layer of your slide. What makes the iSpring content library really amazing is that everything is easy to use and customizable, and there is a huge variety of characters that will definitely fit your project needs. However, it's better to stick to the same character throughout your presentation so your learners can build a rapport with him. You can also animate these characters however you want. And you can also make the menu interactive by using hyperlinks on these three buttons with module. The learner will choose a module from the following list. And the last step for us is to copy and paste the text from our file for the second slide. So let me copy the body first for onto the module 1, then the second body. You can easily use a combination on your keyboard, Control A, to select all the text. Great. So I believe that's all. And I will go to the next slide of our presentation. Once again, I will open slide templates. Then I will find the memorial section and I will add the slide called Introduction. This slide helps your students or learners to return to the menu at any time, consult the dictionary, or contact the author of the course. We will keep this slide as is. The only thing I will change is the email address so that you can contact us at support@ispringsolutions.com. Great. So we are done with the slide and I can create the next one. So once again, slide templates. And please find the slide called Definitions in the Memorial section. One moment. Here it is. So this template includes a table for representing information. In our case, we added the main terms and a description of each term. So let me paste the text for our slide number 4. So the title is Basic Terms of the Course. I will also delete this text because we don't need it in our course. And I will copy and paste the text. So the first subtitle is Sustainable Business. I will place it here. Then the body text, the body 1 under the subtitle. Then the second subtitle, Triple Bottom Line. Second body. I will also delete this term We also don't need it in our presentation. And I will copy and paste the last subtitle and body text about the corporate environmental responsibility. Great. And now I should add this almost the same introductory template that we added to the first slide. So, slide templates. Then find the anthracite section with black templates and add the module title slide, this slide, by double-clicking on it. And let's not use the background picture from this template. I just will delete it. So I will use a new one from the background section in our content library. To add the background, please click on the backgrounds button here. So the iSpring content library also has a large collection of about 230 realistic locations, such as airports, streets, classrooms, hospitals, banks, and other places that were taken by our photographers, who visited places all over the world to make the best shots for every learning situation you can imagine. So now I will mark the public places checkbox on the left pane and use the search field and find the picture called city. And I will double click on it. Please send this picture to the back by right clicking on it and selecting the option called send to back. And I will also paste the text from our script for the fifth slide. So the title is History of Corporate Environmental Responsibility. And a brief module description. Okay, we're done with this slide. And let's add the slide number 6. Slide templates. Please find the slide called 40 by 60. Picture right in the memorial section. This slide with character, not with pictures, only with character. And this template contains text and character, as you can see on the screen, and here you can introduce a key concept and also explain it in more detail, maybe with a voice-over narration. So let me add it in the presentation, to the presentation. And the last step is to copy and paste the ready-made text from our script. So the title is background, copy paste, and the body text. To add slides with the transition effects that we have in the original presentation, please do the following. Go to the slide templates, then find the memorial section and add the 3 slides called process first step, process second step, and process third step, one by one. So slide number 7, memorial section, slide called process second step, and the last one, slide called process third step. And guys, you don't even need to add transition effect to the slide because it's already applied. in the transitions effects. So you will see here that we have a push animation for our second and third slides. Then I will edit the information by pasting the text and adding other pics. So I will open my script once again, and the title for our slide number 7 is History of Corporate Environmental Responsibility. You can easily change the text box, the size of it. Then I will enlarge these buttons and enter another text. I will enter dates 1961, 1987, and 2002. Please also copy the text for the subtitle. The World Wildlife Fund is created, and the text, the body text. Also, I need to change our picture. Actually, you can easily change the size of the shape. And let me delete this picture and open a new one. You just should click on this icon and select the picture called slide number 7 with the line. Great, we are done with this slide, and I will change in the next one. So once again, the title is History of Corporate Environmental Responsibility. Some dates. So 1961, 1987, and the last one is 2002. Let me change the text here. So our common feature and a brief description. I will also change our picture and add the picture from our resource folder with the landscape. So you don't have to customize the size of the picture, as you can see on my screen. And the last slide, slide number 9, the title is History of Corporate Environmental Responsibility. And some dates once again. So you should do the same thing with other slides. So 1961, 1987, and 2002. Let's change the text once again. The World Summit of Sustainable Development. And delete the picture from this slide. I will place the picture called slide number 9 with a river. So you can use these 3 slides to describe key customer service concept or to outline the product delivery process. In our presentation, we used this template to describe the main historical steps of corporate environmental responsibility. So I will create the next slide, the slide number 10.
Sophia, could you please also let our audience know how many more slides you are planning to add?
About About 5 slides.
Okay, thank you.
Or maybe less. I believe 4. Okay, so I will create the slide number 10. And on this slide, we have another module. So let's go to the slide templates and add the module title slide in the anthracite section. I should mention that we are already inserted the slide into our presentation. And I will just paste the text. I will change this one to the module 2 and copy paste the text for this slide. So these chapters help to structure the course, and the learners will see the title of the chapter and a short description that will be mentioned in this section. I will create the slide number 11. So slide templates once again. Please find the slide called Course Objectives in the Memorial section. Here it is. I will also delete this paragraph from the slide and the button, number, and our character. I will add another one by clicking on characters. I will find our character Alex in the recent characters. We'll mark the gesticulating checkbox here in the action section, and I will find Alex showing 4 fingers. Let me find it and place it on the slide. Also, you can jazz up this slide with pictures of gadgets and office supplies over here in the Objects section. I will click on this button and add some sticky notes instead of a bullet list, just as an example, so you don't need to repeat after me. Let me choose the sticky note. For example, this one. We'll change its size. Delete this shape. And just place the sticky here and just copy and paste it several times. You should also send the picture to back. So let me quickly go back to the objects so that you can see that there are 135 photos of various objects. For example, smartphones and tablets, pencils, pens and markers, notepads, and more that can be used when you are creating any learning course. Plus, this template is for outlining the course objectives, instructions, and other lists. In our case, we added 4 main criteria that are necessary for a green business. So let me quickly paste the text for our slide number 11. Title is Green Business. And let's add 4 main criteria. So, I should also select all this text and place it at the bottom of the slide so that I can add this text in the presentation to the presentation. And paste for main criteria. Next T numbers. Great, we pasted the text and our slide is done. So let me create the slide number 12. Once again, slide templates. Find the section called Memorial and select the picture called 50 by 50. Picture right. So this template allows you to enter detailed text on the subject material and illustrate it with an image. So let me delete this picture and add a new one from our resource folder for the slide number 12 with the field, and copy and paste the text. So the title is Environmental Sphere and the body text. Let's create the slide number 13. Slide templates. Select the anthracite section in the opened window and select the slide called 70 by 30 picture right. Let me find it. Here it is. I will also insert a custom picture from the resource folder. Just click on this icon in the center and add this slide from the resource folder. Send it to back and paste the text. So the title is called Mining Industries and the body text. The picture on this template helps learners better remember the course material, and the template is used to represent a large amount of the text-based information. And our last slide is the slide number 14. So I will go back to the slide templates again. And I will add a slide called 3 columns to our slide, to our presentation. You can find it in the memorial section. So you can use a 3-column slide to structure information. And the slide is suitable for types of organizations or products of a company. So let me paste the text. The title is Companies that Support Sustainable Development. The first title is Ford Motor Company. The second column is about Subaru. And the last one is Salt Spring Coffee. Let's also add an icon from the iSpring content library by clicking on the icons button here. So you can easily enhance your courses with useful icons made by our professional designers and insert navigation elements such as useful icons, buttons, switches, and other ready-made controls, and many more. I will add an icon called Company to the slide. Just I will enter the company text and place it, for example, here. And this slide was perfect for us because we can describe 3 companies on this slide. Plus, you should delete these icons and put other. So once again, icons. Then I will enter the text settings. I will add the gear icon to the first column. Also the icon to the Subaru column, a car icon, and the last one is coffee. Great. So I believe that's all, guys, and I also have a homework for you. You will need to complete 5 more slides in the course. Please try to finish making this course by viewing the example that we have sent to you. So guys, in 40 minutes, let me show you a presentation. I was able to create almost the complete course, so you can see how easy it is and how beautiful the ready-made content looks. Anyway, we are ready to start the Q&A session, and I will be happy to answer all your questions.
Thank you very much, Sophia. I think it was a wonderful presentation, and I assume if you also set up the navigation and also hyperlinks within your course, it can be even more useful and beautiful. All right, so now let's move on to our questions that we received. So first one would be from Sean. So Sophia, does the background content library include landscape imagery such as what you included in the resource folder for this presentation?
Yeah, you can easily find some landscapes in the place. Let me check it. Public places. Just mark this criteria and you will find photos of parks, squares, some universities, libraries, even beaches,
And
parks,
cruises, yeah.
and etc.
And I also wanted to mention that if there are any other specific backgrounds that you would like to see in the content library, you're always more than welcome to send a feature request, and it will be delivered to our content library team so they can start working on it because the content library is constantly updating. Okay, so the next question, just one moment, is from Alice. She asks, can you insert more than one template slide at the same time, meaning that you can select them at one time and insert them into the presentation?
Yeah, I understand. Thank you, Paulina. So let me kindly note that there is no option to add several slides to your presentation. You can just select one slide, for example, from the slide templates, and insert it into your presentation. The same thing is for characters. So you can select only one character and add it to the presentation, to the slide.
Thank you very much, Sophia. And there is a question from Marianne. First, this she says this was an excellent presentation, and then she
Thank you very much.
asks, yeah, and there was a um, almost the same question from Leonard. Page 11. The icons on the bottom left. What are these icons used for?
So the meaning of these icons you should find in the third slide of our presentation. So um, this icon is a dictionary. So you can um, allows learners to go over the main course terms at any time. You will see the same icon. Then this icon is the main menu for our presentation, this one. So you, by clicking on this icon, if you, for example, use some hyperlinks in your presentation, you can easily redirect to the course menu, to the main menu slide.
Mm-hmm.
In our case, this is the second slide in our presentation. And this icon can be used, for example, um, to go to the slide with interaction, um, and you will find some um, basic questions and answers. For example, interactions called, let me quickly show you, the interaction called FAQ, this
Mm-hmm.
one. So you can be redirected to this slide with this interaction, for example.
And there is also a question if we could integrate quizzes in the template.
Do you mean to use the templates in the iSpring Quiz Maker? Am I right?
I'm not sure, but I think to use quizzes in the course. Oh, actually, I think you're right.
Uh, we have some backgrounds, standard backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the gradient backgrounds. Let me show you on the slide view tab. So you can, for example, insert picture for your background, or you can use the background from your presentation if your quiz is a part of the entire course. So you can use the picture button, or you can also design your presentation by formatting background here. So you can, for example, select a solid background, gradient background, and the picture or text fill. So you can insert picture from file and select a background for all your quiz, for the entire quiz.
Mm-hmm. And Jennifer says that you can access content library on the insert tab as well.
Uh, Also, I forget, I'm sorry. So
Thanks,
you can
Jennifer.
use backgrounds from the iSpring Quiz Maker, sure. Of course, you can easily add background and send to back, or for example, create some shapes
Mm-hmm.
or make solid background so that your text doesn't miss on the background. Also, you can insert some characters and objects into your quiz by using these buttons in the content library section.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can we move on to the next?
Yeah,
Yeah, Alice says that it would be helpful to have the ability to add several slide templates at one time, so I guess we can wrap it up as a feature request.
yes.
And also, Angela Angela asks, how much does it cost to have access to the image library? Is there a monthly fee or only an annual fee? So the content library is available within iSpring Suite full service license, but also you can get it at $397 per year per user. That's the regular price. However, depending on your license, we may be able to suggest a special pricing. So, Angela, would you like us to get back to you after the webinar? And if anyone would like to get the pricing details, just send us your email in the question box so that we know that we need to contact you. And there is also a question from Emilio. How does it work? How does it work? The three icons, menu, information, basic terms in the bottom of slide when the course is published. Could you show to us?
For example, okay, I will use some hyperlinks. For example, I will create hyperlinks on the slide number 6. So this icon is to get access to the main menu. So I just right click on this icon, select a hyperlink, place in this document, and I will select the second slide with our main menu. This icon is for our fourth slide, for example. So just hyperlink, place in this document, and the fourth slide with basic terms of the course so that you can easily read it. And this one is for our dictionary. We don't have a dictionary in our presentation, but for example, our dictionary will be on the 14th slide. As an example, there's a hyperlink, place in this document, and 14th slide. So let me show you. So this is our slide number 6. Let me click on this icon and I will be redirected automatically to the second slide in my presentation. And I want to read some information about some terms. I will click on this icon and I will be redirected to the third slide. Let me check the hyperlink. To the basic terms. So click on this icon and I will be redirected to the slide number 4. And after that, I want to read some information on the last slide of my presentation, and I will be redirected to the slide number 14.
Mm-hmm.
So you can easily use these icons as navigation buttons in your presentation,
Okay,
as
and
well as
uh-huh.
backward and forward buttons here.
Okay, Sophia, and is there any way to set it up so that they are then redirected back to the slide they were on when they initially clicked the hyperlinked buttons?
Could you please repeat it once again, Paulina?
Sure, that's the very last question from Josie. How can we set it up so that they are then redirected back to the slide they were on when they initially clicked the hyperlinked buttons? So the slide they came from, how can they go back to this slide?
Okay, so there are 2 ways. You should also, for example, one moment, you should also select the link to create a hyperlink to the slide. For example, I will show you an example on this button. If you, for example, want to return back to the slide number 5, just click it, select hyperlink, once again place in this document, and select the slide number 5. So let me show you how it should work. And as you can see, our hyperlink is working now. And also, we have another option. You can, if you, for example, have the iSpring Suite 9 program, you can easily use a branching option in the slide properties. So if you don't want to have hyperlinks or use them in your presentation, you can easily set the branching here in the slide properties. So I will choose the slide number 11, set the branching. For backward branching, you can use the default settings for forward and backward branching, but you can also set your own settings. For example, to slide number 9 from the 11th slide. Save and close, and let's check this. One moment. From the 11th slide.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 second.
So there is actually a good comment from Jennifer. I think what she's asking is when you click on an icon that takes you to slide 4 from slide 6, for example, how do you get back to slide 6? You can add another icon and set a hyperlink to last slide viewed.
Yes. Or you can use branching in the iSpring Suite 9 program.
Yes, and then Josie says that would only work if the hyperlinked buttons are only on one screen. If then FAQ, for example, is on every slide, how can we make sure they go back to the specific slide they were on? So basically the same comment.
I believe just. Paulina.
No, go ahead.
I believe just check these hyperlinks manually.
Yeah.
Or check them in the preview mode or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you just need to play a little bit in depth with linking within your courses. There are lots of options. And I believe we have a webinar that delves deeper into the options of the Slide Explorer, which is a wonderful presentation explorer. It's a wonderful product within iSpring Suite, a wonderful feature. And okay, so guys, thank you very much for being so active. We very much appreciate it. And it looks like we really need to wrap up because we are over our set time. And at this point, I would like to thank Sophia for giving such a wonderful presentation. And if you guys agree with me that she did a wonderful job, please share your opinion in the comments. Or if you didn't like something, please share too, so that we know what we can improve in the future. And there are still some questions left, but don't worry, we will get back to you after the webinar with more information on them. Sophia personally will, right?
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys, for all your comments and your feedback. We really appreciate it. And thank you, Paulina, for creating this webinar.
No problem. And I also wanted to say that we will see you at the next webinar next week. So I will be sharing the details with you sometime really soon. And if you would like to sign up for all our webinar mailings where I invite you to our future sessions, please go to iSpringSolutions.com/webinars. And let me really quickly share that link with you guys. And also, if you would like to know a little bit more about the pricing on the content library and its availability and how, like, what pricing are you eligible to, please send your email address so that I know that we need to get back to you after the webinar. In this case, I will assign one of our great customer success managers, so they can help you guys in figuring out what works best in your case. Okay, all right. So at this point, we will officially wrap up. I hope that everyone, I am actually going to turn on my video camera to say bye to you guys. Bye bye. I hope you have a wonderful day and we'll see you at the next webinar. Bye everyone. Bye Sophia.
Goodbye.